Hey y'all, welcome to Chatting with Coach Amy. Today I'm with a group of 5 teachers that have gone through my Buds and Blooms program. Some of them are still coaching in that accountability, some of them are not. And this is going to be a great back to school podcast. That's kind of what I was going for. And thank you girls so much for hopping in on your last few days of summer vacation. I'm going to ask some questions in a round robin style, everybody. So first we're going to introduce. Of course, I'm Coach Amy, and I am not a teacher, negative ghostwriter. But we're going to start in order for me to look at. So we're going to start with Lauren. So what I want you guys to do is just tell us your name, maybe a few things about you and your family, and then what you teach and how long you've been teaching. I don't know, all kinds of random tidbits. Knock yourself out.
So I'm Lauren. Lubambula is my last name. I know
I have been waiting for that.
Yes, Lubambula. My husband's from East Africa, so that is why it is a little unique.
That's awesome.
I am 35. I just turned 35 a couple of weeks ago, and I'm in Arkansas. This year, I am a second grade teacher. I have taught third grade, second grade, first grade, and then I came back to second. I've kind of bounced around.
Wow.
This is my 7th year teaching. So I'm married. We have one son, Cohen, who likes to pop his head and see what's going on.
He's Knox's little twin, man. I'm telling you, every time I see him, I'm like, what's he doing?
So he's almost 4. He's a 9/11 baby. So
he's a big dude. He's a big dude because Knox is 6.5, and I think Cohen is taller than Knox. Pretty sure.
Maybe.
Is your husband tall?
For Ugandan, he is, but I don't feel like he's tall I think he's like 5'11".
Oh, okay.
So no, not necessarily.
All right. Thank you, girl. All right, Andi.
Hey, I am Andi Barnfield, and I'm from Illinois, and I think this is my 19th year. I taught Title I for 17 years, and then through COVID, ended up teaching different second and third grade, and so last year is my first year in a third grade classroom, and so I'll continue in that this year.
And how old are you?
Oh, sorry, 43.
Okay, 43. You do not look 43.
What was that?
You do not look 43.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. My internet is not the greatest, so it's cutting out. I wasn't trying to get another compliment.
I may have been guilty of doing something like that before. Maybe not. But you totally deserve it. That is awesome.
Thank you.
And how many kids do y'all have?
I have 3. We have 3 kids. 11 just turned 10 and 7.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And when we get over to Talon, Andi and Talon are kind of neighbors.
Yep.
Very, very cool. All right, Cristina.
I'm 32 from New Jersey. Trying to remember all the questions. This is my 8th year teaching. I teach currently 7th and 8th grade math, but I've kind of always been in that 6th through 8th grade math world. I think I've done all 3 at some point. And I have 2 boys. I'm married with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. They are something. They're in there right now, screaming. I was like, where am I going to go to get away from all the noise?
I know, I made an announcement. It's podcast time. Y'all all have to not act like idiots. Yes, very good.
Or one of them will come out eventually. They have to see what's going on.
I know, it's fine. It is what it is. We're all mamas. And as I said last week, this is free. And if people don't like it, they can turn it off. I'm cool with that, man. All right, Shannon, share with us a little about yourself.
I am Shannon Helms. I am 42. I have been teaching this will be my 20th year. I started in preschool, special ed, then moved up to kindergarten, then moved to first grade, did 1 year in 5th grade, didn't like that so much and moved back to first grade. So I'm back in first grade. I am married and have 3 kids, ages 15, 12, and 9. So I think Got all the questions, I think.
You got it. If you didn't, it's
I got
fine.
it.
Totally cool. Totally cool. All right. Thank you, girl. All right, Talon.
I'm Talon Anderson. I live in Illinois. I'm 35. I have 2 kids. I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. I teach special ed, but I actually co-teach with gen ed teachers, math and ELA, which is very different, very interesting, always changing. And I think this is I think I've taught 12 years. This is my 13th maybe. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, girls, are y'all ready for some questions? All right. First one, it's not hard. This is just like what you do. It's no big deal. If you're listening to the podcast, Lauren has a cheat sheet typed and organized. She may get hired soon. No, I'm just kidding. Bella is now hired as my assistant, and her and Cindy, bless their hearts, because I just downloaded a new app to assign tasks to them. And I think they're both like, whoa. But anyway, I can assign tasks when I think of them. It's great. Anyway, we'll digress. I have to keep things streamlined as much as possible around here. Okay, so first question. Is it difficult to incorporate Trim Healthy Mama into a teacher's life? Lauren.
Well, the first time I experienced being Trim Healthy with teaching was in summer school, which was a lot more relaxed. And that is actually something that I wanted to start this summer so that I could be ready for the school year, because the day goes by with lots of stuff going on. But I have definitely figured out some quick and easy tricks that I think are going to be doable, very much doable. I think it will be fine. I think it's about, I've got to prep my veggies, my non-starchies, all of those, and get them ready to go. And then once I'm at school, I just eat what I packed, and it'll be fine.
What a novel idea.
There you go. So I think it just takes a little bit of prep work, which, I mean, anything worth doing is typically going to take some effort. And
Amen.
So yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Gold star, sister. Love it. Andi.
No, I don't think so. I've had, a whole year and then a few months of the year before that I started doing, seriously doing Trim Healthy Mama. And I think I've just gotten myself into a routine. I know what, like Lauren said, I make sure I have everything packed and ready to go the night before. And I'll get a smoothie ready in the morning and just take it all with me. And I've not had any problems with it.
Perfect. Love it. We're going to get more into what y'all specifically do, like recipe wise, in a little bit. Okay. All right, Cristina.
I don't think so. My first reaction when you said that was no.
Yes, that's
Just
right.
no. You have to eat anyway. Like no matter what you're doing,
right.
you're eating. So like you may as well just eat something healthy.
Amen.
And you just figure out how to make it work, just like anything else.
That's right. Thank you. Shannon?
Yeah, and just like everybody else said, no, I mean, it requires some work and some prep, but it's, you have to eat, you have to prep your meals anyways, you have to take your lunch to school. So it just requires a little extra preparation, but no, I think it's easy. And once you get into a flow, I mean, it's just everyday life. So no, it's pretty easy.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Talon?
I think it's totally doable. I teach in a little tiny town that literally has a gas station. And we upgraded and we got a Dollar General now. But the hardest part is the ice cream shop, like staying away from it. But I have to take everything with me anyway. I can't rely on being able to run somewhere at lunch and grab something. So, I mean, it wasn't any different. I just packed healthier things.
Love it.
Like everybody else said, prep is key for me. I know some people aren't into that, but man, if I can make stuff ahead and have it ready to go and grab it in the morning, like Andi said, have a bag ready the night before, it's easy.
Well, girls, I stay home and work, and I love having that 9x13 breakfast casserole and the thing of muffins made, and I don't go anywhere. And so I can imagine how easy that is for your breakfast. And then, packing up the leftovers. I had one lady one time, she said, my husband always he wants to eat up all the leftovers. What do I do? And I'm like, You fix your plate and you fix your lunch for the next day, then let him have what's left. So she was like, brilliant. So if that helps anybody, I hope you take that and use it. Very good. Okay, Lauren. So do you prep breakfast like I just said? Do you do things like that? Because you eat breakfast, right?
I eat breakfast. Yes, I have to have some breakfast. Yeah. I will prep some shakes, have some of the stuff ready to go for a shake. Or like you were talking about muffins, I will have something made that I can just zap it in the microwave and then eat it. Because I eat on the way to school is what I do. So I drink my smoothie on the way to school, or I'll eat like a muffin or something. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Andi?
I actually do fix my breakfast in the morning. I get up super early, and so I usually fix egg whites and spinach. That's kind of my main protein. And then usually have an E for breakfast. And so I'll add some other kind of fruit or English muffin or something like that. But I do pack it up and I eat it at school. So that I do usually cook in the morning. But my lunch is already packed the night before.
Okay, very good. So Andi usually, and I know this because she turns in her tracking sheet in Blooms, she has an ultra fuel pull while she's doing that. And then she'll eat at school for her timing and then go on throughout her day, right? You still do that? Okay. All right, Cristina.
Usually about 5 to 5:30.
Right.
I don't like prepping the night before. So like my lunch every day is leftovers no matter what. So that's done the night before and packed, and I just pull it out of the fridge in the morning. But I wake up early so that in the morning I can like make my breakfast, pack the kids' lunches, like pack all my food. Which again, once you get into a routine, it doesn't take me that long to cut up a cucumber and take it with me. And my breakfast is almost always oatmeal, which I can make that real quick, and or a shake. If I'm gonna eat it, if I know I'm eating it in the car on the way to work, it's usually a shake that I can throw together quickly, or I'll make my oatmeal. I have these like disposable coffee cups that are like 16 ounces and it fits in the cup, and then I can just eat it in the car on the way to work.
I've done that before. Yes, ma'am. Oatmeal goes great in a cup. You can hold it easily. Don't have to hold a bowl. Tip. That's a great tip, girlfriend. Good job. All right, Shannon.
Yes, I will make the egg white casseroles like you were talking about. I usually prep on Sundays, and I'll make casseroles, or I'll make the little egg cup muffins I can take those and eat in the car. And then I'll also prep little like snack size bags of the oatmeal mixes. So it's just ready, and then I can just take that and dump it in, boil it real quick, and then I can, like she said, eat it in the car with a cup, or if I have time, I can eat it at home. And then I prep my shakes like we talked about on the last podcast. For those
honey, you changed lives with that tip, changing all the lives.
Just in case you didn't hear, I make triple or quadruple batches of shakes, and then I freeze them in cups, whatever cup it is that I'm going to drink out of for the week. So I'll have like 4 or 5 cups and freeze them. Those are usually my snacks, so not my breakfast. But and then I'll take it out in the morning, leave it on my desk, and then I have that for the afternoon. So there's my tip.
Talon.
I do a little bit of both. So I have like the casseroles, I'll make like a 9x13 and freeze individual squares, or like breakfast burritos or whatever. But then I also occasionally will make like French toast in the morning. It kind of just depends on how much time I have and what I'm wanting. I also prepped all the dry ingredients for muffin in a mug, and I have the instructions written on an index card in my pantry. So I can just grab like, hey, just add an egg and a tablespoon of water and throw them in the microwave. I do those sometimes too, just kind of depending on what I want. Like I have about 3 or 4 different options. I hate oatmeal, so that is not an option for me. And so have other things. I get sick of the same thing every day. I'm not a breakfast person, so I have to change it up.
And it's got to be delicious.
Yes. And if it's chocolate, it's even better.
Amen.
So
for sure. So today after CrossFit, I was telling them before I hit record, y'all, if anybody knows me at all, do I eat an E after a workout? No, what in the world? But I made some pancakes this morning like a crazy person. And I'm hungry. That's okay. I'll fuel up in a little bit. Be fine. I won't die. But I used the Trim Healthy pancake Interim Healthy Cookbook, that recipe. And you grind oats to get the flour. Well, I found a bag of buckwheat that I bought. I don't even know when, don't know why, probably saw it. And I was like, oh, that's a great grain-free carb I can use. So I used the buckwheat and it was really good. If you do that, I recommend adding more sweetener. But it was good. They cooked great. They did not stick. I didn't have any troubles. But just a little disclaimer so nobody gets upset with me. In the THM Food Analyzer app, it does recommend to sour, soak, or sprout, have that for your buckwheat. And, mine might be sprouted. I don't know. I'll have to go back. Anyway, I didn't do any of those. I just used it and I'm feeling fine. I don't feel like it spiked my blood sugar or anything, but it does affect others differently. So that's what I would love. If I were you guys going to the schoolhouse and working during the school year, I would really love pancakes. Like make me happy. So you can make a batch of those. I love the ideas y'all gave for your batches and your mixes and, having things that you love ready and prepared. That's excellent. I love that so much. So Lauren, I think all of y'all pretty much said that you pack your lunch. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. They're all nodding yes. If at any time that you eat it at school, like from the cafeteria, do any of y'all do that?
I
do.
to.
Yeah. No. Okay. Lauren, do you?
I used to, but I'm not going to anymore.
Okay. Check. All right. Andi?
No.
No. Cristina?
Sometimes, but my cafeteria has a salad bar for teachers.
Very good. Very good. So tell us about that.
I actually, since COVID, they might have pre-packed salads, but pre-COVID, they had just a full salad bar, teachers only. And so I could put whatever I wanted in there. It was pretty much always an S because there's no way you're getting an E approved like dressing.
Yep. Yep.
But they had like eggs for protein or like little things of chicken or something like that. And I could just throw together
Perfect.
whatever I wanted.
Yeah. Awesome. Shannon?
Yes, my school does the same. They have a salad bar for teachers. So sometimes I'll do that. I often forget my lunch too, in the crazy of the morning. So it's nice to have that just in case, and they have really good stuff on there. But again, it's always an S. But I usually keep salad dressing in my fridge, the homemade kind or on-plan salad dressing because I take salads to school a lot. So I have it there and I just use my own.
Yeah, very good. Talon?
Our cafeteria has salads for teachers, not a salad bar, but I can order a salad in the morning and it has lots of veggies on it. And like, I think Shannon said, like, I just keep on-plan dressing in my fridge at school. And if I forget, I just use that. And then every Thursday is chicken at our school. Usually it's breaded, but if I have to on a Thursday, I can order the chicken and just peel the breading off if I can.
Sure.
For some protein, but it is handy to have.
Yeah, very good. Okay, great. That's what I wanted to know. All right. So how do you feel about timing as a teacher? A lot of new, especially buds, have questions about that, whether they're a teacher or something that has a super busy schedule and they're not self-employed where they can, manage that. Like I can schedule things around meal times and snack times, no problem. And I have clients and I do hope to do the same thing with medical professionals. I got tongue tied on that in the future and some other things, ideas, just to talk about real life stuff in a group setting. So how do you feel that timing works for you, Lauren? Does it work out okay?
It just depends on the year is what's going to happen because there's different schedules, different years.
Right.
And so my plan at this point, because I'm looking to this first school year, I am planning on just taking some fuel pull options to hold myself over. So I'm totally fine. I've got the little packets of collagen. And so if I'm getting hungry, it's not quite time, or maybe it is time, but I'm teaching, like I am fine dumping that in a water bottle and something else with it to give it some flavor and just drink it. I mean, that's fine. I can drink that in front of my kids or even just a yogurt. I'm a 000 yogurt person.
That's okay.
And so that's what I would use. If I'm kind of in between times or getting close, I'll just do a fuel pull of those simple options is what I'm planning on doing.
Perfect. Andi?
My timing last year seemed to work pretty well. Like we said earlier, I have usually an ultra fuel pull, probably between 5 and 5:15 in the morning. And so my breakfast just works out where I can have it kind of as the kids are coming in and they're working. And then my lunch last year seemed to work out fine. I do have usually an ultra fuel pull in the afternoon, and sometimes my snack and supper are a little close, but that's why I keep it a fuel pull or ultra fuel pull. So but yeah, I didn't really run into any problems. The snack that I take for school, I usually, the timing is when the kids are being dismissed, so they kind of trickle out of the room at the end of the day. And so I usually have something like a secret big boy where I can just drink it and I'm not like eating in front of them. So,
Yeah.
but, and I would eat yogurt in front of them. I mean, I don't know if it was a problem, but for the most part, my timing worked out fine this past year.
Awesome. Christina?
Yeah, I agree. As soon as I get like a new schedule, my first thought is like, when am I going to eat?
Love it. That's my girl.
Let's break it down. But I'm not opposed to eating in front of my kids because they're older. And especially like my last block of the day, sometimes I would have my snack during then, but like, and my kids would complain. I was like, listen, you guys just had lunch an hour ago. I didn't. So I'm going to eat. And it's usually something small, but most of the time my snack in the afternoon is like a trimmy. And I make it at home and put it in my thermos, and it's fine until the afternoon. And then I mean, they know 2:00 is coffee time, regardless if it's a trimmy or not. 2:00 is coffee time, and we're
I am
pulling
having it with you. I'm having it with you. I love it.
Whatever. They complain the first couple weeks of school and then they get over it and they know that this is just what I do. I said, you don't want me to be hungry and have to deal with you. So just let me eat, and everyone is happier.
What grade again?
7th and 8th.
Oh, bless. Oh man, I told somebody, oh, it might have been Talon, give me adult women any day. Woo, mercy. All right, Shannon.
Well, kind of like everybody else said, I try to keep my snacks fuel pull and mostly drinks just because, you know, I have first graders. So not that I really care if I'm eating and drinking in front of them, but they kind of whine a little bit. So
Yeah.
I've strategically set up my classroom Trim Healthy Mama style. So I have a fridge in there, have a microwave in there. I just bought a Keurig so that I have a coffee pot in there now. And I'm getting another milk frother so I can make my trimmies in the afternoon, and I've got my shakes and stuff. So I just kind of have strategically, you know, made it so that it's easier for me to make drinks and shakes and things in there so that I can keep it, you know, more trim, healthy mama-ified, if you will. So
yeah. Talon?
Well, Shannon and I are a lot alike. So I eat breakfast. I get up and have a collagen hot coffee about 5. And then I'll eat breakfast about 6:30. And then, so I need a snack about 9. So I usually have a shake ready to go, which I have junior high, and it's usually in between classes. So I can drink a shake and not really like draw attention to myself. And then I'll have lunch. And then in the afternoon, I usually have yogurt or something as soon as the kids leave. But I did buy a Keurig for my classroom this year. And it's actually more of a reward for kids too, but I'm going to use it. And I did buy an extra milk frother on Prime Day.
Love.
So I have that option. I can just go over there and whip up a coffee easily with little notice. So that's my game.
Awesome. Okay. So in my land, in my brain, I'm always thinking what listeners are thinking while they're listening to this. And it's twofold conversations going on in my head. But I'm like, y'all are all saying like the same things, but it's because I taught you. And it's like, but you did it on your own. You made it your way. And I'm just so proud of y'all, like beaming, so happy. My heart's like, so happy. Okay. So Shannon and Talon told us about the tools they have in their classroom, refrigerator, coffee pot, blah, blah, blah. So Lauren, Andi, and Cristina, I would love to hear what you have. Talon also, I don't know if you said this, you have a small crock pot. Is that right?
Yes.
Was that you? Yeah. Did you say that a while ago?
Oh my gosh. I didn't bring it up. I should have. I'm sorry.
Okay. No. Sorry.
That is the saving grace.
Very smart.
Yeah. Cause I can throw anything in there. I keep frozen chicken breast ready to go. And so like like the salad at work, I can just throw some frozen chicken breast in it in the morning. And by my lunch, it's
Brilliant.
And good. And I just throw it on the salad.
That's brilliant. Okay. Lauren, do you have anything like that in your room?
I heard Talon talk about that crock pot on the podcast, but the whole time, which I know that this is totally acceptable, I was just like, that's not my thing. Like, I'm not gonna have a little crock pot. Yeah, but I did buy another milk frother on Prime Day, as we've mentioned, and I put that in there. I do have a little basket of like little things that I can keep, like almonds and stuff like that. I do have a fridge. Yes, like that's my plan. I remember messaging the all-in-one, like, well, I don't even know what brand it is, blender, and it can do a single serve, the big ones, and a food processor. So my little magic bullet has now transitioned to my classroom. So I am planning on doing that. I will share, I had a friend a few years ago that on Monday mornings, she would bring a Walmart sack with like her bag of salad and some cheese, and she would bring her own dressing and vegetables, and she would just stick it in her fridge. So every day she was not packing her salad. She just had everything in her room ready to go and just kept it in her fridge all week, and each week brought fresh stuff. And so I thought about doing that.
Shout out to that all-star. That's awesome.
I thought that was good. But as far as tools, I've got my magic bullet ready to go, and I do have a frother, and I've got a fridge and a microwave. So yeah.
Very good. Andi?
Well, I'm kind of boring. I don't have any of those tools, but it's kind of frowned upon in our district to have microwaves and refrigerators in our classroom, but my neighbor next door does have one. So I kind of stick things at the beginning of the year, stick some snacks in there. But I will tell you the tool that I love, I found them last year at Walmart. It's a little plastic container, and it has a larger section and then two smaller ones, and they're removable. So put my hot food in one, and then I can just take that out and go warm it up. And and I cannot find them any other place. I have scoured Walmarts and Amazon, and I can't find another one like it. But that's about, and then everything else I just pack up in rings. So no, I don't have any fun tools.
That's okay. Thanks. Cristina?
I agree. We're not allowed to have, we have like the microwave and the fridge and all that in the teacher's lounge. There's a Keurig over there. We're not allowed to have it in our classrooms, but I do have in my desk, I keep emergency snacks. So
Yes.
I have a box of K-cups so I can use the Keurig in the teacher's lounge if I need to, even though I pack my coffee every day. And I keep like a bag of Shameless crackers, like just in case, packets of collagen. I'll bring a milk frother if I need it, things like that. But I just pack an incredible amount of food for the day.
Yeah.
And it just, none of my food fits in a normal lunch bag. I can't find one big enough. So I put my insulated lunch bag in the bottom of my backpack. And my backpack just kind of contains it all.
I love it. I love
it's fine. And there's I don't put anything else in there. It just is just all the food all day long.
I love it. I love it. That's incredible. I know I've said it. I'm so proud of y'all, like for reals. Okay. So let's move to exercise. A lot of people that have full-time jobs, I know y'all's faces are like, don't talk about that. How in the school year do you fit in intentional movement? Now, I go to a CrossFit class. It doesn't have to be that. It can be walking on your lunch break. It can be, I don't know, doing air squats with your class. I don't know. Have any of y'all ever done any of that? If you haven't, it's okay. I just wanted to see what y'all did. Lauren.
Yeah, here I am. I was just telling, so my group in Blooms right now, we've got a Marco Polo going as well. And we're doing the 3 days a week of intentional movement exercise this week. And I was telling them how it's got me thinking again of what I'm going to do. And when it is hot here in Arkansas, like it is in some other states at the moment, I cannot go outside and just get sweaty on my lunch break. Like I don't have time hardly to eat my lunch. So but this is what I had started doing last year. I was expecting in the spring. And so I thought I really need to be healthy and keep myself going. So I actually, I have recess duty where I have to be outside with my kiddos for about 30 minutes after lunch. And if it wasn't so hot, we have a track on our playground and I would just walk the track. I wasn't like huffing and puffing, but I was walking. And it was really fun because a few of my little girls from my class would want to come and walk with me. And jibber jabber the whole time, and it was really sweet. And so we would walk, and I would have one every day. Mrs. Lubambala, are you gonna walk? Mrs. Lubambala, are you gonna walk today? Like, so that was fun. And then if it's too hot after school, I will just walk after school if it's so hot. Like my kids leave at 3:45 and I usually stay till 5 until I go and get my son. So I give myself a mental break from school stuff I would go about 20 minutes is how long I would go. I would just change into some other clothes as soon as school was over. I would go outside, listen to a podcast and walk for about 20 minutes just to give myself a break from school and give my body some movement. And then I would go in and work until I had to go pick up my son. And so, because once I get home, like we get home at 5:45, I'm cooking, we're cleaning up the kitchen, baths, and going to bed. So I would never get it done once I get home. So I just do it right after school.
Very good. Very good. Andi?
Well, during the school year with 3 kids and all their activities and stuff, it is lots of times. If I can come straight home, like if supper is cooked and I can come straight home and I've got 20 to 30 minutes, I will do a work-ins or a couple of your videos, like the core, the arms.
I still can't believe I did those.
I love them.
Well, I'm so glad. I think you're the only one that watches them.
So I try and do that, but most of the time with their activities going on, if I do it, it's sometimes like 8:30 at night and I have to like
force yourself.
Make myself, because by the time I get supper cleaned up, I get things prepped, lunches prepped for the next day, I'm done. But I do try, sometimes it's only twice a week, sometimes throughout the week, like especially during soccer season, it doesn't even happen. So but that's my goal, is to get 2 to 3 times. And like I said, sometimes it's 8:30 at night. But I try and do something.
Gotcha. Cristina?
We also do the walking at recess, and our kids will sometimes join us. We had to like split our grade in half. And so half of us go out together and the other half go out the other time. And all of us that are together, all the teachers just like walking together. So we kind of like do laps around the kids so we can still monitor and get stuff done. But yeah, I agree. Once I get home, it's over. Mm-hmm. I think one of the best things Coach Amy's ever said to me, I was like, I want to get into exercise, but I can't figure out how to fit it in my day. And she was like, you just might not be in a season for this. A 2 and a 4-year-old trying to exercise on top of like baths and dinner and all. She's like, stop, just do what you can do.
That's right. Well, good job, Amy. Oh man, that's why my class is at 5:30 in the morning, y'all, or I wouldn't. And that's 6 years of doing that, and I still don't see when I would do it any other time. There's no way. Shannon?
So during the school year, when I am not injured, because I have been injured, so I just recently started back up again exercising. I get up at 4:30 in the morning and I do my exercises in our basement. We have a treadmill that I run on, or I do just videos, the Beachbody videos in the basement. And with my class, that my kids always know that I am addicted to exercising. So we do lots of like rain breaks, and I make them run laps, and we do exercises throughout the day. So I try to keep my kids active as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my boys love that. Can we do a brain break? Yes.
Yes.
Turn it on. Go for it.
Yep. Lots of brain
Stop
breaks.
asking me. Your sisters are in charge. Leave me alone.
They need that. Yes.
So if you wake up that early, what time do you go to sleep?
Well, I try. Yeah, but I try to get to bed by between 9 and 10, but sometimes that doesn't happen with my kids' schedules. My daughter does dance, so her dance is usually until 9:30 at night, and I have to pick her up. So it just kind of depends on the night. Yeah. Hopefully 10 o'clock is the goal.
Oh, you're making me tired.
I know.
Talon?
I like to get up in the morning and work out, but that just doesn't always happen. I usually walk at lunch for sure. And then during soccer practice, sometimes I'll take like mine and my son's bikes and we'll go ride bikes, or I'll walk or something like that. We live so far out in the country and our road is so busy, we can't walk at home.
Right.
And so I will walk in town when we're in town for soccer, and that works out.
Very good. Awesome. Awesome. I want you to share your progress, and it can be with me, with Trim Healthy Mama, maybe when you just decided to get healthier, like how far have you come, even keeping in mind this busy teaching schedule, your children, how has that looked for you in your journey? What's been your progress? And it can be, weight, inches, non-scale victories, whatever your favorite thing is to share is fine.
What is I'm grateful for any progress.
You finished Summer Buds, right?
Fresh. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So in doing Summer Buds with you that first 6 weeks, I think it was like down 13, 14 pounds and about
That's
the same on
awesome.
the inches, which I was really grateful. I think my body was just like, whoo, get rid of all this stuff. And so now it's kind of slowed down, which I know is natural. But I'm really grateful. Like I hate the fact that I'm on blood pressure medicine. And my pressure is going down big time. It's been going down. So I'm really hoping I'll get to say that I'm off of it. But the last several years that we've had our yearly checkup for the insurance and all of that stuff, my blood work has always been not so hot. And so I was really grateful that this summer I had all these numbers come back that were good. And so that was very, very exciting. And I can definitely tell some of my clothing is fitting better. I had a coworker just the other day at school say, "You're looking good. I can tell you've been doing something." So, like that's always huge to receive that encouragement.
Sure.
And so those are several things. And one thing I mentioned on my review is just the progress that it is feeling easier for me to do THM. Like I'm not to the automatic stage,
Right.
but it's definitely feeling just so much easier for me to figure out what I'm eating. And so that's a huge victory for me.
I'm so glad. That's awesome. Thank you. Andi's been with me for 70 years. No, I don't know. Not really.
15 months. I think
15 months, not 70 years.
And in about a year, I lost 55 pounds. I never keep track of the inches very well, but I've kind of hit a point where I'm just maintaining now. But I just feel better. I just feel good. And so right now I'm just doing everything that I've done from the very beginning and just trying to maintain where I'm at.
Awesome. Cristina?
I think I've been with you for almost a year. I did Fall Buds last fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming up on a year.
Yeah.
And then I was doing THM for a little bit longer than that. It's been over a year. So I lost about 40 pounds so far. I'm kind of in this weird lull where I feel like I still have a little bit more to go to get to goal, but I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. So if that takes a while to go, then that takes a while. I don't really care. But I started last school year as a size 14 when I was buying all my new clothes for the school year. And this year I'm a size 6, probably getting into a 4.
Yes. That's awesome. Who cares how much weight you've lost, man?
Exactly. I was like, I feel like that doesn't reflect, but hey, I'll take it.
It says muscles, girl, that protein.
And but I agree. I just have so much more energy. I want to move and do things now, and I want to chase my kids around the house and all that. Before I was always just so tired all the time, and I really don't have that.
I'm so glad. That's awesome. Incredible. Shannon?
Let's see. I started with you in Fall Buds like Cristina. But I wasn't very active. I know I already shared my story, but so really my weight loss starts from January when I started Blooms. And for me, let's see, I lost, I think about 14 pounds, but for me, it was more about the mental, that I just learned how to love myself and to learn that I was worth it, that I was worth taking care of my body and taking care of myself. And just, the energy, and I just feel better. And that I just know that, I'm worth more than, eating all the junk, and that my body is worth it. And so for me, that was my NSV, I think, more than just the weight loss. So I'm just kind of in a maintenance mode right now, but yeah.
Yes. Thank you. I love that so much. Thank you. Talon?
I've lost about 25 pounds. I started in January, but I did spring buds with you. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I feel like this summer has been a struggle for me, but I haven't gained. So that to me is like a win in and of itself.
For sure.
I need the structure of school. Like
Yes.
you can only eat right now. You can't, you know what I mean? And so I'm hoping to get back on track with that. So.
Oh, I love it. I'm so proud of you girls. I mean, how many times can I say that in one podcast? Let's max it out. That's incredible. Thank y'all for sharing that. I think it's good to hear, you know, I've put in a year, I've put in a year and a half, I've put in a few months. This is where I am, because it takes time to track down, you know, and you will reach a certain level and you stall and you got to change a little bit and then you'll go down. And that's everybody's story. It really is across the board. So I appreciate that. Well, we're going to finish up, but I wanted to give each of you a moment to just share anything with fellow teachers out there that's just from your heart. You would like to pass? You can.
You know, I have a Maya Angelou quote on my wall that I've had. I discovered it when I was living in Uganda and met my husband. And then I brought it back to my classroom, and I was walking into school the other day thinking, that is so for me this year, like on my health journey. And it's do the best you can until you know better. And then once you know better, do better.
Amen.
And I challenged that. That was a challenge for me in what I was doing in Uganda and when I came back. And then I challenged that with my students, like, guys, I have taught you the better way to do it. Like, let's do it the better way. And now I feel like it's myself, like, I'm going to look up at that every day and be like, I know better. Like, I need to do better because I know better, and I need to hold myself to that expectation. And so I think that's more of like a tough thing, I guess. It's not necessarily like a lovey-dovey thing.
Oh, that's okay, man. We need that tough push sometimes.
I think that just kind of hit me the other day. Like, I always teach it to my kiddos, and I share it with the parents on open house night to hold themselves and their children to that standard. And I need to do that for myself this year. So I will put that out there for anybody.
That's great. I love that. That's awesome. Thank you. Andi?
I think just getting a community of ladies around you that are going to encourage you, whether it be teachers or not. Because I know I didn't really have anybody until I did meet Talon several months ago. And but I do have, like, from the Southern Healthy community, there's a group of us that have a Facebook Messenger that, you know, daily we're throwing out ideas or just encouragement. And a few of them are teachers, but, you know, it doesn't have to be. It's just people that are going to encourage you and uplift you and say, hey, you can do this. And I just think no matter what your schedule is at school, you can make it work. And I just think you have to find and tweak what works for you, but it's doable. Like, I think somebody else said that it is definitely doable. So I would that is a thing that has helped me the most throughout my journey, was the group in Coach Amy's, just the community that she has created. Those ladies have helped me so much. So I would find that.
Thank you, Andi. Cristina?
I think getting started is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because it's like this big thing. I got to prep all the stuff and do this. And you don't. Like, I've done THM many times and never been successful until this time. And really, it was just a mindset shift for me that, like, listen, I know, like Lauren said, I can do better. I know what the good choices are. So, like, I'm going to keep eating everything I've been eating, and I'm just going to switch over my bread. And this is now going to be sprouted. And then I'm going to make this one. Now it's not white rice, it's brown rice. And I'm just going to do these small changes, but then they kind of build and build and build and build. And that for me was so much easier than, like, I'm going to do everything gung ho from the beginning and do it all. Like, you can't take on all that at once. It's too much, but those little things build up and they'll get you there. And then I agree with what Andi said. You need, like, I have no one that I know does THM. No one at school does it, but, like, there are other teachers that I work with who are trying to, like, make better choices and be healthier. And so we just encourage each other. And when there's a big potluck and there's a bunch of junk, we're like, you don't want to eat that. Like, what did you have? Let's eat that together. We're not going to have that. So it's like solidarity.
Yeah.
Even if they're not necessarily doing the same thing as you,
Sure.
we're still kind of encouraging each other.
Awesome. Thank you. Shannon?
I always say it's a marathon, not a sprint. Just, it's going to take time, and you can't expect to have results, in a week or two. And also, I think just to know that you're worth it, that you're worth just not, feeding your body junk food. And also, like what Cristina said, I think, you don't have to use recipes for everything. Like, it can just be simple. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to use 100 ingredients. It can just be simple and just make it work for you. So just don't give up and know that you're worth it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. And Talon?
I think like planning it out. I had to like sit down and be like, okay, I need a protein. I need, you know what I mean? Like, just start at the basics. For me was what I needed. How am I going to do this? How am I going to incorporate this? And I think like the changing staples, I think Cristina maybe mentioned it too. Like, okay, I'm going to finish that loaf of bread, but then we're going to start buying healthier options. And then just, I think once you get started, how much better I felt like made me want to do it. Not necessarily the scale or the tape measure. Like, it was just how I felt. And I wanted to keep going and keep changing. And so I think that was the biggest thing for me. Just not feeling as exhausted and just feeling yucky. I don't know exactly how to describe it. It was just,
Right.
I didn't feel good. I didn't
Right.
feel sick. I mean, it wasn't that, but I just, and so once you get started but getting started is the hardest part. And I just think, take it a step at a time. And I know I said on my podcast, like, I don't like breakfast. And everybody's like, start with breakfast. Don't start with breakfast. If you don't like breakfast, don't start with breakfast. Just start with whatever works for you. Buy some chicken and go from there.
Right.
So
I love that. Thank you. That is great. Y'all did it. Thank you so much. This was exactly what I envisioned and even more. So thank y'all all for taking your time. Okay. When do y'all start school back? When do y'all go back to school? Do you know? You're like, I don't know. I'm just gonna go back.
No, I've been there all summer. Teachers, our first day is next Friday, August 5th. And then we have a full week of professional development after that. And then the
Wow.
kiddos come on Monday, the 15th is when we
Okay.
start.
Andy?
Teachers go back on August 17th, and the kids' first day is the 18th.
Y'all's faces are the best.
There's all these different states and districts with different schedules. It's
Yeah, for
interesting.
sure. Y'all wait till I tell y'all hours. Okay, go ahead, Cristina.
I'm going to make you really mad. Our first day is August 31st. Kids don't come to September 6th.
Wow. Shannon?
Teachers go back the 16th, and the kids come the 23rd of August.
Okay. Talon?
teachers go back the 11th and kids start the 15th.
Guess what the 11th is?
Your first day.
It's my birthday.
Oh.
That's the best. My big old 41st birthday. Okay, so I don't know when the teachers go back for my boys' school, no clue, but they start August 8th. Glory to the Lord. I'm so happy. We're going to be.
The follow-up question would be, well, when did you end? Like, because some of you guys may have gone
You're
into
fine. When did you end
February.
school?
And we ended at the end of May, like, yeah, a week before the end of May. So, yeah.
Andi?
May 20th.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Christina?
It was like the middle of June.
Right.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Shannon?
We were May 26th, I think.
Okay. Talon?
May 31st, but we didn't have remote days, and we have remote days this year. So hopefully that'll help us out.
Mhm.
I don't know when the boys were done. Sometime in May. I don't know. It was probably middle to end, like in the 20s, I would think. Because I'm not a teacher. So I'm gonna go with what they do. Okay. And my girls are homeschooled and homeschool themselves. I don't even know what they're doing. No clue.
Yeah.
Don't think bad of me. They do have somebody that does help them with all that. Okay, that's great. Well, y'all, once again, thank you so much. I hope y'all have a fantastic school year. I think you five are ready, set, go. And I hope that this podcast will help those that were listening kind of get themselves set up for success to have a great year. All right, y'all, tell them bye, y'all.
See
Bye.
ya.